Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Punjabi Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Madhava Shri Radhe Jaya Kodanitai Mayapur Shakti Jaya Kodanitai Jaya Mayapur Shakti Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Hare Krishna. So thanks for joining today. So we'll continue it for maybe 2 weeks and three more days for hearing Krishna Katha. Hope my sound is clear.
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. So as discussed, we will try to continue on Canto 10, and we will try to go as much as detail we can. Let me share my screen. We'll go from first canto itself. Okay. Where it is. Oh, okay. So Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-salakaya Chakshur-unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri-Gurave Namaha Namah Om Vishnu-padaya Krishna-prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschyata Desatharine हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपीश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण. Let's pay to obeisance to our Srimad Bhagavatam itself. Narayanam namaskritam naram chaiva narottamam devi saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye nashtaprayesu vajresu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavate uttama sloke bhakti bhavati naistike. Hare Krishna. So, I hope you can see my screen.
Yes,
So we'll continue to on Canto 10 and first verse. So just a brief background, what happened in Canto 9 is till Canto 9. So in the last chapter of Canto 9, Sukadeva Goswami, he started expressing describing about the dynasty of sun god and the moon god. And there he described about Lord Rama, and then he very quickly he described the pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna. Like, and then Sukdev Goswami asks question again. He says, "Oh Krishna, oh Sukdev Goswami, actually I want to hear more." And as he wanted to hear more, so Sukdev Goswami, this Canto continues. Let's see how Parshit Maharaj asks this question, and by he praising to Sukdev Goswami, how he asks the questions to go more elaborately describe the passion of Krishna. And let's see how he says. Okay. Chapter 1, the advent of Lord Krishna, introduction. Text 1. Sirajo Vacha Khatito Vamsa Vistaro Bhavata Somasuryaho Ragyam Ragyam Chobhaya Vamsanam Charitam Param Adbhutam. So here Parshit Maharaj, Raja Vacha, Parshit Maharaj is saying that you have described elaborately about the dynasty of both moon god and sun god with the exalted and wonderful characters of the king. So the characters of the kings were what? They are adbhuta. Why? See, the kings, because they were surrendered soul to Lord Krishna, their activities are also wonderful and should be described. So that's why I say their charitra, their characters were actually param adbhutam, not just only adbhutam, it's a param, exalted, giving a more prefix to that. So he says, Prabhupada says in the purport that at the end of 9th canto, 24th chapter, Sukadeva Goswami summarized the activities of Krishna. He spoke how Krishna had personally appeared to reduce the burden on the earth, and how he manifested his pastimes as a householder, and how soon after his birth he had transformed himself to the Brajabhumi Leela. And then Parshit Maharaj, being naturally devotee of Lord Krishna, wanted to hear more about Krishna. So that's a very important point here, that if we want to, take further steps in our spiritual life, we should be eager to hear about Krishna from the devotees, right? And then Prabhupada says that therefore, to encourage Sukadeva Goswami to continue speaking about the Krishna and give further details, he thanked Sukadeva Goswami, saying, "Okay, oh Sukadeva Goswami, you have been very elaborately described about the dynasty of both moon god and sun god." And also there's a point here, in the sun god dynasty we see Suryavamsi, Lord Ramachandra appeared, and in moon god, in that in Chandravans, Lord Krishna appears, right? So he's heard about both in the previous chapter, in ninth canto actually. However, he says, please describe more. And in the ninth canto, if we go back a bit, see there's a nice verse comes in ninth canto itself, last chapter. If you go towards here, he says, it's very, very important verse actually. This is, he says, to show causeless mercy to the devotees who would take birth in future in the age of Kali, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna acted in such a way that simply by remembering him, one will be freed from all lamentation and unhappiness of the material existence. So remembering Krishna, hearing about Krishna's pastimes, what happens in Kali Yuga, especially in Kali Yuga, the people will be freed from the lamentation and unhappiness of material existence. Right? That's how glorious this how glorious hearing Krishna Katha in Kali Yuga is. So earlier, you have to do meditation long years and years and years, 60,000 years for self-realization. But in Kali Yuga, it's very easy. And Prabhupada sometimes says, it's so simple that we miss it. Right? So that's how it's so simple, just by hearing Krishna Katha regularly. Right? And it says, Anugrahaya, just to show your mercy. It says, Anugrahaya Bhaktanam. So to shower the mercy to the bhaktas, to the devotees, you have played like a human. Like, so what happened? Let's see, when we see as a Lord Nrsimha, we saw in honor reverences, and when we see Krishna, so okay, actually Krishna is looks like us. We he had flared the pastimes, he had been in family life, he had been playing with the gopas and gopis and other things. But the point is that we find some more relationship between Krishna directly, and then and hearing about him, what happens is, just hearing about him, the lamentation and unhappiness that we find in material existence, this is always there. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Dukkhalayam asaswatam. So this material world is Dukkhalayam and it is asaswatam. It's temporary, isn't it? And always giving miseries. So that miseries can be extinguished by hearing Krishna Katha, by just remembering Krishna. Right? So that's how he says, please, I want to hear more about it. And then Prabhupada says that the Supreme Personality of Goddess Sri Krishna, known as Lila Purushottama, appeared as the son of Vasudeva, but immediately left his father home and went to Vrindavan. So Parshit Maharaj asked this question again here, saying that please describe all those to me as well. Right. So let's see what he says again. Prabhupada mentions about the supreme abode of the personality of Lord Krishna, as in Brahma Samhita, Chintamani Prakashatma Sukalpa Vriksha, Lakshavarte Survira Balayantam. And this verse he says, Krishna's dham is Chintamani, right? Is Chintamani, is always effulgence. Everything is all there. Even the stones, they enlightened. We don't need any more the light from sun god or moon god, anything over there. It's all our Chintamani itself, right? And all the kalpa vriksha, all the trees provides you all the fruits, whatever you want. It's not about the mango tree only give mangoes. The whatever you want you can get from any trees over there. That's kalpa vrikshas. They fulfill all the desires actually, right? So and Prabhupada mentioned this last canto, previous canto, last chapter, verses 66, right? Then in text 2, going ahead, now Parshit Maharaj is actually glorifying to Sukadeva Goswami. See, this is also another attribute to hear about Krishna from any senior devotee. Right now, if you want to know more about it, glorify the person and he's going to speak you more about it. If you say, no, okay, it's all, I don't believe in it, all the things, then he's going to stop it at all. But when we glorify the sages, right, they speak more about Krishna Katha. Okay, Prabhu, you have spoken this nicely. Can you please describe some more pastime of Krishna? And he starts speaking about more his realization. So we get to know about that, right? That's how Parshit Maharaj is doing the same thing. And Sukadeva Goswami is trying to test him again and again in between. Okay, are you all okay? Are you thirsty still, or are you still wanted to hear Krishna Katha? And he says in the couple of more verses, he says, I just want to hear Krishna Katha, which is flowing from your mouth like Ganges, so let it flow the nectar. Text 2, Yadoscha dharma silasya nitaram muni sattama tatram sena vartinasya vishnur viryani samsnaha. O best of munis, you have also described the descendants of Yadu, who were very pious and strictly adherent to religious principles. Now, if you will kindly describe the wonderful, glorious activities of Lord Vishnu or Krishna, who appeared in that Yadu dynasty with Baladeva, his planetary expansion. So he's saying, not just only describe about Krishna, also describe about his brother, Lord Baladeva. And he described about Yadu dynasty in the previous chapter, previous canto itself. So he's saying, can you please describe the wonderful activities of Lord Sri Krishna? So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that just understanding Krishna's transcendental appearance and disappearance, we actually go back to Godhead, isn't it? Janma karma chame divyam evam yovaiti tattvata tvekta deham punarjanma na metiyami. So Arjuna. So he's saying very clearly that anyone who understands my transcendental appearance, is just go back to Godhead. There is no more birth and death for them. That's why he's asking, can you please glorify the activities of Lord Krishna, which are very, very wonderful, and also describe about Lord Baladeva, his planetary expansion. The first expansion of Krishna is Lord Balrama. And Prabhupada's quotes again Brahma Samhita, answering the supremacy of Krishna. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradi Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. So Ishvara means what? Ishvara is actually, we all are Ishvara in one sense. Ishvara means controller, right? We control something, but but the point is, we control something, but we have a limitation in controlling things. But Krishna is Parameshwara, because he is a supreme controller. No one can control Krishna. We have some control over something. There's nice example is being given how to understand that we are controller, but still we are not the controller. uh, let's, for example, as a family gathering is there, and all the parents are there, and they're they're talking with each other. At the same time, the kids, they are playing nearby in the park, right? Let's, for example, there's a devotee gathering in a park, and the parents are talking, at the same time kids are playing. So the kids, they can play around in that area, but as soon as the kids go out of that area, one of the parents ask, oh no, come back, come back, you can't go there. So this is our area. So in that field of area, you are free to move whatever you where you want to play. But as soon as you cross the boundary, you need to come back again. So parents are going to watch, okay, come again, come in again. So in a similar way, we have the free will, we have the controllership in a limitation, right? I can control my family a bit, but as soon as they are grown up, I can't control anymore. I have some control in somewhere else, but I'm not the supreme control. That's how it says Ishvara Parama Krishna. So who is Parameshwar? That is Krishna, and he is Sachidananda Vigraha, and he is the cause of all causes, Sarva Karna Karanam, right? That's how it's been explained that Ishvara, we are very tiny controller, but Krishna is a Parama controller. There is no one beyond Krishna. No one controls Krishna, right? Then again, Prabhupada's quotes from Brahma Samhita, supremacy of Lord Krishna, how Mahavishnu is actually a portion of planetary portions, how the expansion happens. That's he says. And also Prabhupada again quotes from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So that's how we see that supremacy of Krishna is being ascertained again, and that's how Parshit Maharaj wanted to hear about the glorious pastimes of Krishna, right? Uh, this last paragraph, Prabhupada says that Maharaj Parshit requested Sukadev Goswami to describe Krishna and his glorious activities. Another meaning may be derived from this verse as follows: that although Sukadev Goswami was the greatest Muni, he could describe Krishna only partially. For no one For no one can describe Krishna fully. It is said that Ananta Deva has thousands of heads, but although he tries to describe Krishna with thousands of tongues, his descriptions are still incomplete. So when we say that Krishna is unlimited and Krishna's pastimes are unlimited, that's how we can understand. So Ananta Deva, he has thousands of hoods. You know what? How it happens? So in his thousands of hoods, the whole planetary system. Let me show the screen. Just give me 1 second. uh, okay, just give me 1 second. I'll just show that picture. I think we might have it. Okay, now I can show you. You can see it, right? Oops, sorry, I think I have said the wrong one. Just 1 second. Okay, you can see it now, right? So if you see here, this is Ananta Shesh, right? So he is having thousands of hoods, and in thousands of hoods, just this whole universe. Can you see this whole planetary system? This whole one of the planetary systems. It seems like just one seed of mustard, right? In that, so that's how huge our Ananta Sesa is, and he has thousands of tongues. And Srila Prabhupada is saying that in the purport that even with the thousands of heads, he describes the glories of Krishna, but he descriptions are still incomplete, right? So who are we to describe Krishna completely, right? That's why going further, Parashit Maharaj says that, oh Sukdev Goswami, please describe whatever I have asked to you, and also what I do not ask to you. Let's see what says in text 3. अवितरे यदोस वंशे भगवान भूत भावन कृतवान यानि विश्वात्मा तानि नो वद विस्तरात. So he's saying vistarat, please describe it elaborately. What? Bhagavan bhuta bhavana. What does it mean? That who is the cause of the cosmic manifestation? That is the Bhagavan, that is the bhuta bhavana. So Krishna is what? Who is the cause of all causes. He says the super soul, the supreme personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, the cause of all the cosmic manifestation, appeared in the dynasty of Yadu. Please tell me elaborately about his glorious activities and character from the beginning to the end of his life. So Krishna, when he appeared, he played pastime for 125 years, and for 11 years he was in Vrindavan, and then he moved to Mathura, and then he went to Dwarika, and then from Dwarika he has went many times to different part, like for the war of Kurukshetra, and many times to meet in Hastinapur. So he went out from there. So eventually he did the pastime for 125 years, and then Parsi Maharaj is saying, please describe those elaborately, right? Who is the Bhuta Bhavana? Krishna's another name you can say is Bhuta Bhavana, who is actually the cause of all causes, right? And this is very important, verse text 4. What is the glory of hearing Krishna Katha? It says, Nivrita Tarasir Upagiyamanad Bhava Chotra Manobhiramat Chauttama Sloka Gunanuvadat Pumsam Virajayet Vina Pasugnat. See, he says Bhava Aushada. There are two words he says, Nivrit Tarasir and Bhava Aushadas. So Bhava Aushadas means cause medicine. And if we take medicine from a right person, it might cure us. It will cure us. If not, then the disease, it won't get cured. So Prabhupada says this is the right medicine for getting free from this bhava, or this bhava sagar, right? And what is that? And even this Krishna Katha, the Uttama Sloka Gunanuvad, describing our Krishna Katha, is so glorious that anyone who have given up this all material sense gratification or material activities, even for them it is relishable. So what we speak about the conditioned soul, so it's act for everyone. Either you are conditioned or you are free from conditioned life. This is works for both. He says the glorification of the supreme personality of God is performed in the parampara system. That is, it is conveyed from the spiritual master to disciple. Such glorification is released by those no longer interested in false and temporary glorification of this cosmic manifestation. It means who are already in a higher state. Even the description of the Lord are right medicine for the conditioned soul undergoing repeated birth and death. So anyone who is elevated, for them also it is very, very relishable. They relish the pastimes of Krishna. And those who are like myself, like we, conditioned soul, when we hear Krishna Katha, what happens? This is the right medicine. And this right medicine needs to be taken through the ears, not through the mouth. This medicine of hearing Krishna Katha is through our Karna Radhrena Pravishta. So we should hear Krishna Katha from our ears, and what will happen is the repeated birth and death will cut down. The knot of birth and death cycle will be completely eradicated when we hear Krishna Katha through parampara. There's a Prabhupada clearly mentions about parampara, and in this verse he quotes many times about the parampara itself. If you see here, Prabhupada says, that from Padma Purana quotes says, Avaishnava Mukha Mukhodigram Putam Hari Kathamritam Sravanam Naiva Kartubhyam Sarpochittam Yathapaya. So one should avoid hearing from a person not situated in Vaishnava behavior. A Vaishnava is Nirvritta Krishna, that is, he has no material desire, no material purpose. For his only purpose is to preach Krishna consciousness. And a question can be asked, even if uh, someone is doing Krishna Katha, he's not a Vaishnava, but he's Krishna Katha, so what's wrong in hearing it? And the verse from Padma Purana says, it's like milk. So the milk, it remains still white, but it's being touched by a serpent, the milk still remain white, but it's a danger, it's a death is there. If you drink the milk, it's going to death, will die it, right? That's what Prabhupada says. The milk is being touched by uh, by by serpent, is no more a milk. Though Krishna Katha they are saying is, but the motive, the intention behind speaking Krishna Katha is something different. They wanted to glorification, they wanted more money and maybe other things, right? That would not be a proper direction for having Krishna Katha. So that's a Prabhupada warns that we should be very much careful about hearing in the parampara itself, right? And even in Krishna speaks in Bhagavad Gita itself, right? To be in parampara, ivam parampara praptim imam rajashayo vidu. So the knowledge should be taken in a parampara, and that's why Krishna says, I am re-establishing this parampara because that has been lost. Krishna didn't say that the knowledge been lost. Knowledge is lost through parampara. So he's re-establishing the parampara. So parampara is very, 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 very important when it comes to spiritual life. So there are 4 pramanic parampara, and we can be taking shelter in any of the parampara and relish pastimes of Lord. And as Prabhupada says here, a qualified reciter of Srimad Bhagavatam gives the right medicine of Bhava Oshadhi for the conditioned soul. So medicine should be taken properly, and the medicine, how to take medicine in our Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada says, following 4 regulative principles and chanting the holy name attentively, hearing Krishna Katha, engaging. So it's kind of making our surrounding more toward Krishna. Right? Even if you want to buy something for our grocery, okay, we can make nice dishes for Krishna and then have a prasadam, right? In the evening, in the morning, we can have kirtan at the home. So that's how we can make our surroundings more Krishna conscious. Gradually, step by step, we can take few steps, and then it's gonna be more beneficial for us. We might see, we need to be very practical. We we might not need to extend ourselves straight that okay, it's gonna break band, but we can take a baby steps. One step we take to Krishna. And in one lecture I was hearing by His Holiness Krsna Maharaj, he was saying that if a day is being spent without step further taking Krishna consciousness, then the whole day is wasted. So we should try to take a baby step, a small step, a very tiny step. Maybe reading 10 minutes of Bhagavad Gita every single day, 10 minutes of Bhagavatam every single day, or chanting the holy name nicely in the morning. Like these are the very, very, very baby steps we can take toward Krishna consciousness, isn't it? And that's make a lot of difference in our life. If you remember, I was saying earlier, like if you do 1 to the power 365, that still remains ones. But if you add 1.01 and to the power of 365, it becomes 37. So in a year, the whole picture changes, right? A single steps. And then Prabhupada actually quotes about different sanstha saying that how even everywhere they glorify Krishna, right? Very nice song Prabhupada's quoting here. मनुष्य जन्म पाइया राधा कृष्ण न भजिया जानिया सुनिया विष खाइनु. So if you get the human life, Manusya Janma Paya, and if you are not chanting the names of Radha and Krishna, na bhajiya, janiya suniya visha khainu, so you are knowingly taking poison, right? And that's how his verse is. It says, the last word of this verse says, Puman birajat Eta bina pashugnath. Pashugnath is basically a butcher, right? Basically, the one who is not taking Krishna consciousness, not chanting the holy name of Lord Hari, is actually he's he's killing his own self, right? It's not easy task, right? And we are getting human life, and we are trying to engage ourselves everywhere except what we need to do. This song says, Manusya janma paya Radha Krishna na bhajiya janiya suniya visa khainu. So you are eating poison knowingly, right? It's, you know very well that you're drinking poison, but still you are happy drinking the poison. And in one of the class, again, Kishore Maharaj was explaining, like, the sandwich, the sandwich, what happens, the two braids, top and bottom, and on the middle, it's the what important is, isn't it? So we don't say give braids, we just say the name of the middle part, what we want to have in paneer or whatever it is, right? That's remain on the middle of the two top braids. So this is like that. There's a very thin slice, and on the braids are thick. In a similar way, in our material life, the miseries are actually thick, and still there is one thin enjoyment. We are hankering for it, right? So whole 5 days working from 9 to 6. Okay, so what? On weekend, maybe on Saturday, I can go somewhere and take some enjoyment, and then come back again on Monday, right? So 5 day working like anything. One day for a couple of hours, get some refreshment, and again start Monday working like that, isn't it? I'm not saying we won't work it, but I'm trying to say that how this material life is going. So the importance is to be understood where we need to provide it, right? So that's how this Manusya Jivana is actually for chanting the holy name of the Lord, so that we can get rid of this cycle of birth and death. I think we are going very slow, but that's okay. Again, Prabhupada's nice, brilliant purports are coming again. He says about how, we can do our activity. This is the essence of everything. Essence of everything. Vede sarver aham eva vedyo vedant krit vedavid eva chaham. So sometimes we get bewildered. Sometimes, sorry, there's a question. Okay, so sometimes what happens is we get so much diverted from into the details of things, that we miss the essence, right? So Krishna is clearly saying that Vedeja sarver aham eva vedyo. Vedyo means to know. To know from all the Vedas is me. So if you read Vedas, you should know me. You should try to find me, because Vedanta Krit Vedadvid. I am the knower. I am the compiler of the Veda itself. So you should know. Try to find me in that. Otherwise, if we go on to more details of what's happening, how it's happening, all the rituals, okay, we need to do like this, stand like this, sit like this, eat like this, but missing the essence. There is no point of missing the essence, right? So it's being described, our Acharya says, satatam smarta Vishnu vismarta bana jatachit. So every single moment try to remember Krishna, and every single moment make sure you do not forget Krishna. So these are the principle: remembering Krishna and not forgetting Krishna. And all the things are details, how to do, how to remember Krishna. Okay, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is actually enhancing me for Krishna consciousness. Going to a pub and bar is actually taking me away from Krishna, so I should avoid those things. And hearing Krishna Katha is taking me towards remembering Krishna. That's why they both are uh, remember Krishna all the time and never forget Krishna. That's the principle. That's the principal line, and everything else follow it. It's like Rupa Goswami says, the queen. When the queen goes, all their servants, all the maid servants, they follow her by default. So in a similar way, all our purusartha, everything will follow it when we follow Krishna. directly. Having said that, this is a long verse where I'll read the translations, where Parikshit Maharaj says that taking the boat of Krishna's lotus feet, my grandfather Arjuna and other crossed the ocean of battlefield of Kurukshetra, in which such commandants as Vishmadev resembled great fish that could very easily have swallowed them. So here, essentially, he says that Krishna, please describe about the Krishna, by taking their lotus feet, my grandfathers like Arjuna and the Pandavas, they are grandfathers of Parikshit Maharaj, they have won the battle easily because there were so many great warriors on that round, right? Vishnu Pitama was there, and then Dronacharya was there, Karna was there. So many great fighter. It is not easy for Pandavas to beat them, but just as they had taken shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, they could easily cross it. It's been described that if we take shelter of Krishna, then this middle ocean can be crossed very, very easily. It becomes a hoof friends in that area, the whole ocean comes up. Otherwise, it's a whole huge ocean. It's very difficult to cross out. Right? So he's saying, kindly enlighten me by the transcendental characteristics of Lord Sri Krishna. Then next, he talks about Krishna. Now he talks about Baladeva as well. He says, Rohiniya Stanaya Pruktao Rama Sankarsanas Tvaya Devakya Garbha Sambhaha Kuto De Dehantaram Vina. So it's saying very, very interestingly that Lord Balaram, you say that Lord Balaram is the son of Rohini, but also is son of Devaki. Then without the transformation of this Garva, how it happens? So please explain me that as well. So my dear Sukadeva Goswami, you have already explained that Sankarsana, who belongs to the second quadruple, appeared as the son of Rohini named Balaram. If Balaram was not transferred from one body to another, how is it possible that he was the first in the womb of Devaki and then in the womb of Rohini? We know the seventh child of Lord Krishna was actually Balram, and then it transferred. It got transferred from by Maya by Yog Maya. By Yog Maya, actually, it comes. We'll see it in next chapter when Lord Krishna says to Yog Maya, "You please transfer Sankarshan or Balram from the womb of Mother Devaki and to the womb of Mother Rohini." And there in the prison house of Kansa, they thought that Mother Devaki had a miscarriage. So, but actually, Balram did appear there in the womb of Mother Rohini. And how it happened, please explain to this as well. And ninth verse, he says, Kashman Mukundo Bhagavan Pitur Gehad Brajam Gata Ko Vasam Gyati Bhi Sartha Kutvan Satvatam Patihi. He's saying that, that why did Krishna leave the house of his father Vasudeva and transfer himself to the house of Nanda in Vrindavan? And where did the Lord, the master of Yadu dynasty, live and his relatives in Vrindavan? So please kindly explain me why did it happen. See, Parikshit Maharaj knew all these things, but still he's inquiring from Sukadeva Goswami, a learned spiritual master. He's asking, please describe about why did Vasudeva has to transfer Krishna to Nanda Baba's palace and Vrindavan, and what did he did there? So we know very well that how Krishna is being transferred from Mathura to Gokul by Nanda Maharaj, and by crossing the Yamuna river. We'll see it again in second chapter. So he says, Braje Vasan Kim Akaran Madhupuriyam cha Keshavah Bhatram Chavadit Kamsa Mathur Adharat Aranam. So Lord Krishna lived in Vrindavan and in Mathura. What did he do there? And why did he kill Kansa, his mother's brother? So such killing is not at all sanctioned in the Shastras. So Krishna has killed Kansa. So he is, his mama, right? So how could it's not bona fide by our shastras, then why could Krishna did it? So please explain that as well. So these are many questions being asked by Parshit Maharaj uh, to Sukadeva Goswami, that please elaborately describe all these things, right? And then he says in text 11, देहं मानुषम आश्रित्य कति वर्षाणि वृष्णिभिः यदु पुण्यां सहावतासेत् पुण्यत्यात् कते अभवं प्रभो कत्य भवन प्रभो. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has no material body, yet he appears as a human being. For how many years did he live with the descendant of Vrishni, and how many wives did he marry, and for how many years did he live in Dwarika? I think these questions gives a hint that Parshit Maharaj knew all these things, isn't it? And that's why he's asking, please explain me how many wives did he marry, and how many years did he lived, and what did he did in Dwarika. So just to release the pastime of Krishna elaborately, he's asking all these questions to Sukadeva Goswami, and Sukadeva Goswami is going to glorify the questions asked by Parshit Maharaj again, right? So, and in text 12 he's saying, O great says, who know everything about Krishna, who please describe in detail all the activities which I have inquired, and also those which I have not, for I have full faith and very eager to hear them. Essential part. He asks so many questions and then says, oh, Sukadeva Goswami, please describe the activities which I have asked to you, and there might be many activities which I might not have asked you. So please describe those again in detail. It said again Vistaran. So please elaborate it. Right? Please elaborate. So he's again glorifying again and again to Sukadeva Goswami by saying, "Oh, great says, you are the greatest of all. So, and you know everything about Krishna. So please describe this to me more." And he says, because of my vow on the verge of death, I have given up even drinking water. Yet, because I am drinking the nectar of the topics about Krishna, which is flowing from your lotus mouth of your lordship, my hunger and thirst, which are extremely difficult to bear, cannot hinder me. So, our senior devotee, they explains this verse, saying very well that when Parikshit Maharaj is being asked, are you thirsty, are you hunger? He says, no, because of my hunger, because of my thirst only, today I am in this position that in 7 days I'm about to die. I'm about to be beaten by an takshak, snake takshak, right, by the curse of the Sringi. So I do not have any more thirst, I do not have any more hunger. I am just drinking the nectar which is flowing from your lotus mouth. So please continue. My hunger and thirst are completely satisfied by hearing Hari Kathamritam, Achyutam Hari Kathamritam, right? So he's hearing Krishna's Katha. So by hearing Krishna Katha, what's happening is all his distress. So just imagine, in the whole 7 days, not only Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj, but all who were sitting there, they were actually enjoying everything. No one is again thirsty, and there was no one hunger. Everyone is all just waiting to hear Krishna Katha, right? That's how it's happening over there. So I think we'll just take a couple of more verses and then we'll finish today. This is again, as I said, Prabhupada's purports are amazing. He says, to prepare to meet death in 7 days, Maharaj Parikshit gave up all food and drink. And as a human being, he was certainly both hungry and thirsty. And therefore, Sukadeva Goswami might have wanted to stop narrating the transcendental topics of Krishna. But despite this fast, Maharaj Parikshit was not at all fatigued. Right? The hunger and thirst from my fast do not disturb me. That's what he said. Right? So he's fasting, and we fast sometime for one day, and some things. Oh my goodness, what happened next day? Okay, let me take some rest, or bring all this chappan bhog only to me only today because I was fasting yesterday. So now everything I should fulfill. I should eat everything. Right. That's what happens to us. Okay. Okay, I think we'll stop here today. We'll try to continue from text 14. I know we are going slow, but that's okay. We'll see as much as we can cover. Anyone have any quick questions, thought, or comments? Want to share something? Okay, so one thing in the chat. Sorry, I just read it late. So what we will do is, okay, Mataji, we can do that thing. Yeah, we can do this little story about Krishna. So what we'll do is, from tomorrow we'll try to stop at 2040, and then for 5 minutes we'll try to read one of those story of Krishna. Is that okay?
Yeah, Prabhu.
Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
Yes.
Yes,
So
Prabhuji.
maybe in 12 days we can read some 12 to 14 pastimes. Nice pastimes actually. These are very, very, very relishing pastimes actually, and it gives another angle
Yes,
to see
Prabhuji.
how.
I never heard these pastimes. In yesterday's class was amazing. Thank you very much for those pastimes. I never heard it before.
Yeah, I didn't have it earlier as well. So I was reading that book, and it's this amazing. There are some 20, 30 pastimes over there, and that all are really, really amazing pastimes. How he started it, taking the butters, and there are more pastimes like in the monkeys. So the monkeys moving around Mother Yashoda's palace, all the time. As Krishna is there, they are moving around, and as soon as Krishna away, there is no more monkey nearby because they knew Krishna was going to feed us. Like there are so many pastimes actually over there. We can start reading those from tomorrow. Last 5 minutes, kind of. Okay.
Prabhu, just a quick question, Prabhu. Thank you so much for a wonderful class. I was just wondering, why did Parikshit wait until the 10th chapter to ask about Krishna's full life pastimes and everything? Why didn't Parikshit Maharaj start at the beginning, like from when Krishna was born? And
That's a good point. If you see, uh, the topics is not being sequentially being is there as it, right? So what happens is, as the discussion went off, right? So in discussion right now, what the discussion happened, and some word came up over there, and Parshit Maharaj asked about it. So while Sudhir Goswami was saying that Vidura came there in the palace of Hastinapur, and then he took Dhritarashtra. So the question arises about the pastime of Vidura, because he was a great devotee of Lord as well. So the discussion happened. Okay, Vidura and Maitreya Muni, it got elaborately, right? And then when discussion come back again, they are out of that thing, and okay, something next comes up. In the similar ways goes back. And very importantly, Prabhupada mentions at this point that the first 9 cantos, right, first 9 cantos is essentially the way to reach to the 10th canto. What it is, when we see the Lord, we generally see the face first, isn't it? But the real way to see the Lord is to see their lotus feet first, and then go to the knees, to the thighs, and then to their belly, and then chest, and then arm, and then their face. Then we can release the charming face of Krishna. So all these 9 cantos are actually the limbs of Krishna's from lotus feet. The first two are lotus feet, and then the knees, the thighs, and then fifth is belly, and then chest and the arms, and then 10th canto is Mukhamandala. So to release that essential charming face of Krishna, we need to look Krishna's lotus feet and go ahead. So that's why going directly to 10th canto, we might miss something. So by till 9th, actually we are completely convinced that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and hear about Krishna in canto 10. So there is no doubt. Like for example, many people, they just Prabhupada says in many, many times actually. He says that many people, they directly jump onto the Rasa Panchadhyaya. That's the middle part in Canto 10, where Krishna did Ras Leela. And they start thinking that, okay, Krishna has done this, so we can start doing Ras Leela. But can you imagine, this Ras Leela is it that cheap? If it is cheap, then how could Sukadev Goswami speak about Ras Leela? It's not possible at all. He's already liberated soul. At the age of 16, he was within the womb of his mother, that I don't want to go out because this is metal world is completely, all these things. And Krishna promises, no, don't worry, these three modes won't affect you. And then as soon as Sukadev Goswami came out, he ran away to the forest. Right? And can you imagine Sukadev Goswami speaking about Ras Leela? Not possible. Unless and until we have gone through those 9 canto, understanding who Sukadev Goswami, who is speaking, what Bhagavatam is, we are just trying to say, okay, this is a Rasa Leela, Krishna has done, so what's wrong with us? Right? So to establish that firm conviction that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, and what he is doing is not any mundane act. Right? That's how these all 9 cantos are being spoken. Does that make sense, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Yes, definitely. Yeah. That makes sense. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So that's how the essence is. We should go step by step. Krishna's lotus feet, first 2 canto, then thighs, second, third and fourth canto. Krishna's navel, 5th canto, and then Krishna's chest, 6th, 7th, 8th, and then goes on to his lotus mouth, lotus face, charming face, and then we can release this whole canto, whole Bhagavatam.
Thanks, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you for your nice association. We'll stop today here, and then we'll join back tomorrow at the same time. We'll continue discussion text 14 onwards.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
May I know you? Actually, I didn't recognize your name somewhere.
My name is Tayal Nayagi. In fact, we used to chant together with Nivedita Mataji.
Oh, okay. Oh,
every night.
Okay. Thanks.
I'm from France, Paris.
Okay. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.